Axel's Garage. We are out here with Ginger, and a lot of people have been asking about Ginger and Ginger's transmission and all those. So let me give you the quick transmission update on Ginger. We bought Ginger with a blown transmission. Nice car, real great condition, bad transmission. So we wound up having a friend who does transmissions on the side rebuild the transmission. He rebuilt the transmission, we got it back, we did the gauge cluster, all the stepper motors were bad, so we did the gauge cluster over, we put a fuel pump in it, and we've been driving it. AC works great, front and rear heated seats, everything works. Unbelievable. We put about 12,000 miles on it and then broke down in central Virginia, near Harrisburg, Virginia. We broke Harrisonburg, Virginia, near JMU. We broke down, done. Bad tranny. So, you know, it wasn't a shop that did it, it was a guy that did it, so he said he would make good on it, but I still had to get the truck back up here. So we had it shipped back up to New York, and he had it for a month or two, and said that it was some kind of electrical issue, that he replaced a wiring harness. I don't know what he was talking about, but we got it back, and it seemed to be okay. And the next trip, once we were about 3 hours on the road where it started to get a little warm, same thing. And it was slipping and sliding. We had to baby the crap out of it. So what it would do is it would slip in third gear. So we had to drive, you know, first, second was okay, third it would slip. So we just were easy in third gear until we could get it into overdrive. We'll get it to overdrive and keep it in overdrive. We were able to make that 2,000-mile trip with a slipping and sliding transmission. Came back home, brought it back to the guy, and it was just one disaster after another. He goes, oh yeah, it's good, I did something, whatever he did. He had it 2 or 3 times over a course of a few months, and it was just shit. So I bit the bullet, and I went to a reputable training shop, had it rebuilt, and now, knock wood, it's been good. However, today brings us to a power window motor. It's chronic on these things, especially when they start getting old, they just wear out. We just did one on Stevens Avalanche not too long ago. We've done them before. So we got to pull that door panel off. Real easy on these, getting the door panel off and getting the power window motor in. Really not too hard. I got a GM OEM power window motor. It's not worth it to save 10 bucks or 15 bucks and getting one of the aftermarket ones. Go get a GM one. I'll link it in the description below. Let me pull the camera in and we'll pull this door panel off fast. So if memory serves me correctly, it's a 7mm. And a trim removal tool is really all you need. You got your top sail panel, pop it out, throw it on the side, and you got your little clippy dicky here. And same thing, I think it pops out from the back. Yeah, it pops out from the back, and it comes in this way. And leave it upright, put it somewhere where it stays in that orientation so you know how to put it back in. You got a screw here and a screw here. And then depending on the year on the GMT-800s, you might have a Christmas tree or a screw here or over here on this side. This one is a 2003, doesn't have anything. All right, so the other panel that you got to take off is this guy here, and this guy here comes from the back. You pull it out and it will pop out of the front. It's got 2 spring clips in the back, and it's got a gazinta in the front that goes in like that, and you pull that guy out. Once you're done with that, you're pretty much good to take your 2 7mm. Now I know a couple guys asked about the electronic. What was the electronic problem with the transmission? I don't think there was an electronic problem. I think the guy just either didn't know what he was doing or was not being honest with me. It's a friend that I had been dealing with for many years. Known him since high school. He's built numerous transmissions for me in the past. Some of them worked, some of them didn't, but they were all like hot rod kind of cars that we were racing and beating up, so I didn't really think anything of it. But in hindsight, I think either he was not really doing me the solid favor that I thought he was. So if I would have just went and paid the money at the beginning, all right, you got to pop the light out over here in the corner. Again, same thing, it comes out from the back with 2 tension clips, and it slides in on the front, so you pull the back out, pull it out, and there's your light, and that's everything that's going to be in the way. Now when we take this door panel off, we're just going to lift it up, pull it out, unplug the wires, get it out of the way. That's the easiest way to do it. You could hang it and stuff. I don't know how much room we have. Let's see, maybe we'll try to hang it this time. So last time I took it completely off, maybe we'll hang it this time. Let's see what happens. So we'll bring it up. Okay. Now that it's up, it comes off. And let's see if we can hang it over here if we got enough motion in the wires. It's tight. It's easier just to pop the wires out, I think. All right, once you get the wires off, you got your splash shield. All right, so the bolts that we're looking for the window regulator are top and bottom here. Right? And same thing on this side. You can see it sort of hangs in there, and I'll take you over to the new one. This way I can show you exactly what this looks like inside. In the meantime, oh, I know what I did wrong. The window's down. Easier to do this with the window up, of course. So I got to plug the switch back in and put the window up. All right, so because I'm nuts, I have a spare door switch, and you can see what it's like to try to get it up. It's just struggling. If you help it, it'll get all the way up. And you can bring it like that. And what you want to do is you want to have it up, and I'll show you where. You want to have it up so that right here, the bolt holding the window in place is in a spot where you can get at it. There's one there and one over here on this side. And now that it's in that little opening window, we're good. We can leave the window where it is. Turn the key off, and I can take this switch out. This is one of the old switches that I kept because it works, except the doors don't always lock when you go to lock the doors. So I wrote it on there, and I put it on the shelf. It's a good backup if you need something in a pinch. It was out of one of the vehicles. It might not have been this one. It might have been another one. But now we got our window up, and we have our everything where it needs to be. We could get it to these two clamps with these brass colored bolts. They actually hold the window in the unit itself. And then these bolts here, this one here, this one here, this one here, 3 on this side. And then on this side, let's see how many we have. 1, 3 on this side as well. All right, here. Oh, maybe only 2 on this side. Oh, we'll see once we get it out. Let's go look at the new one. All right, here's our new one. It is a AC Delco 19251-355. We'll link it in the description below. Shameless plug. If you need one, use my Amazon affiliate link and get one. And I only get a few shekels out of it, but it makes it easier for me to make these videos. All right. Get that box out of the way. Now, I actually bought a window motor for this truck over a year ago, and it was sitting in the house, and then Stephen was away at school, and he called up and said, "Hey Dad, I have a problem, and my problem is that my window motor went, and I'm away at school, and when we went to visit him, we did a swap right there in his parking lot. We did a video on it. So this is how it goes in. 1, 2. Wait a minute. I'm just looking at it backwards. That's how it goes in the door, looking at it from our side. So here's our 2 bolts for where the window bolts to, and then here's 1, 2, 3 on this side, and on this side just 1 and 2. That's all we need to take out. So this is going to go in exactly this way. We're going to go pull the other one out, nice and easy. All right, so here at the door panel, 1, 2, and 3, and 10 millimeter. Now you could pull all these out with no fear of anything bad happening because everything is hooked on these little clips here that hook into the door to allow you to disassemble and assemble. All right, so those are our 3. Now the only thing you need to do now before we get this out is to disconnect the glass. So that's these 2 here, but we don't want the glass to fall. So they do make suction cups. I should probably buy them one of these days. They do make like these suction cups. You put the suction cup and it's got a little cord that goes around to the other side and holds the glass up. Or you can just use some painter's tape, which is what I've always done. It's funny, I've done so many of these that I should have bought the suction cups at some time. All right, so a lot of times what some people will do is they'll just take it and they'll put the tape on the glass. Show you what I'm doing up here. All right, they'll put the tape on the glass and then just bring it right up over like that. Sometimes they will go, you can do it, and I've done it like this also. You can bring it completely over and put it on that side of the glass. In these, the glass isn't really that heavy, so I don't think it's that necessary. I think this will hold it just fine. I'll throw one on the other side. All right, and that'll hold the glass so that it doesn't fall while we're doing this. Then you could take your 10 millimeter also, and you could loosen. All right, some people, what they like to do, because this is pinching the glasses, they like to put it on and just give a feel for how tight it is. Okay, that's that tight. So I kind of know how tight it is, so that now when I'm taking it off, I'm over squeezing. And now that I have those bolts out and the glass is disconnected, it's being held up in place by the tape, I can take this mechanism and let it separate from the glass, and then all you got to do is get it out of that clip there, and the same thing on this side. And you got the one connector for the window motor. I'm gonna bring it down just a touch with the window motor here because I feel like I'm fighting myself. All right, so I brought it down just a little. My glass is still holding up there. All right, and now I can lift this up and out of the way. Oh, I got one right here. Holy cow. I don't think I've ever had one here before. That's why I was having trouble. So there is a third one on the right side. Look at that, I'm struggling for no reason. So you can see up here, well, if you can, my glass is hanging by the tape. All right, and now what we could do is take this mechanism, fold it in half, bring it right out like that. All right, so you got your new one. You're gonna sort of sandwich it together and slide it in. You gotta peel your plastic to make it easier. Peel your plastic. Alright, once you get the one side in, you can reach in with your hand and pull it up. And then slide this side in. Alright, and then bring it up and try to hang it by that little tab right there. And then on this side, same thing. You're gonna bring it up over here, find the tab, and you hang it on the tab. Now you got them both hanging on the tab, which is exactly where you want them to be. Okay? And at this point, you could just throw one bolt in the middle on either side, and I'll just bottom them. They don't have to be super tight, because now what you want to do is you want to bring your plug in the motor. I am like all over the place today. All right, and you want to bring your tabs up to the glass. What you can do is put a wrench on these and see if I should have loosened them ahead of time to see how loose they are, because you want them on the loose side. All right, so with both of your little brackets loose, which I didn't do initially, I should have, you can bring it up to the glass and just get them to line up with the glass here. All right, so once you got them almost to the point where they're touching the glass, just leave it for a second. And you can put in the rest of your screws, because you don't want to connect that to the glass right now, because it might not be, the whole unit might not be sitting flush where it needs to be. So once you got them all 6 started, then you can tighten them. Same thing on this side. So now that they're tight, now you can, all right, so now you have your little clamshell bracket, and you want to bring the window up so it aligns with the glass, and on this side aligns with the glass. All right, and you want to capture the glass in there, which, all right, that one seems to be going good. This one seems to be a little finicky. Just gonna loosen this one a little more too. All right, you loosen it up enough so that it slides all the way in. There we go. Now we're all the way in. And now the window's all the way up. You can see how I've got it bottomed out. So we're up. And I'm gonna take this. And I'm gonna give it a little snug. All right, and now I'm gonna feel for how it was before. It's the only part that makes me nervous is squeezing this. So it's by feel. Make it as tight as you feel is right. I'm sure there's a torque spec. I have no idea what it is. However, whatever makes you comfortable should make you comfortable. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to pretend to know what it is. I've tried to look it up. Never been able to find it. So that's why what I did was tighten it up just a little bit. You know, when it was assembled, so I could kind of get a feel for how tight it should be. I think we're okay. All right, so now let's take our plastic, right, and and stick it the best it'll stick. Our wires. Okay, take our spare switch off. Our wires come up through here, just like so. These guys also come right up through there. All right, if your plastic doesn't stick well enough or to your standard, you can put a little tape around it. That's entirely up to you. All right. Just move the camera, move your back just a little bit. And now what I do is take my door panel. I'm gonna bring it up here, and I'm gonna plug in my wires back to my switches. All right, so once you got your wires hooked back up, all right, you're gonna get it right over your latch, and around over here, stick that little light bulb out. All right, now you want to bring it up high because it's got to slide into all those little clamps. All right, and if you got it slid in all the way, it's not going to be pulling out anywhere. And then you can push it down all the way. And when you push it down all the way, you should have your little short screw hole lined up right there, which we do. All right, and then we could take our long one. This is the one, you know, that's for when you grab the handle. All right, and then we could take our light, plug our light back in, slide it in from the back, and then clip the back in. Then we can take this handle. All right, we're gonna slide the front in first, slide it forward, and then the spring clips, snap it back in. We're gonna take our door lock, we're gonna slide it, the front goes in first, the little tab on the lock gotta go in the middle of this guy here, and then just make sure it works. And then this piece here slides in first like that, and then on, and then test your all right, that works. All the other ones work. Door locks work. Looks good to me. So that was it. It's a quick thing. They do go from time to time. Not a big deal to replace them. The biggest problem I run into is forgetting to put the window up or put the window down, and just the nerve-wracking part of tightening those little clamshell things down onto the glass. You're worried that you're gonna break something, but just, you know, make it snug. You'll be fine. Hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.